Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Talky Podcast. I'm your host, Jane, and I'm so excited because this is something new we're starting together. If you've been following the Talky channel, you know we've shared many fun videos about learning English, lessons, expressions, and idioms. But now we're doing something different. This is our podcast. And what makes a podcast special is that you get to listen to real conversations, not just lessons or word lists, but full natural English. I want this podcast to be your space to practice listening, to learn new words in context, and to feel part of the conversation. So for this very first episode, I'm not alone. I wanted to bring in a guest, someone who can share experiences and stories with us. Please welcome Lukas.
Thanks, Jane. Wow, I didn't know I'd be the first guest.
That's an honor.
Congratulations on launching this new podcast.
Thank you. I'm honestly a little nervous, but also really excited. And I think it's great to have you here to kick things off. So Lukas, before we dive deeper, can you tell our listeners a little about yourself? Who are you? What's your background? And what's your connection to English learning?
Sure, I'm Lukas. I started learning English in school, but honestly, I wasn't very good at it. I memorized grammar for tests, but speaking was hard. It wasn't until later, when I started watching movies and shows in English, that I realized it's more than exams. It's a living language. Slowly, I practiced with friends, read short articles, listen to songs in English. Bit by bit, it became natural for me. And now, English is part of my daily life. I use it for work, for travel, and even for fun.
That's great, Lukas. I think many listeners can relate to that, learning English at school, but not really using it until later. Your story shows how important it is to connect English with real life. Since this is our first podcast, I want to focus on beginnings, because starting something new, whether it's learning a language, a new job, or even a podcast, can feel scary. So Lukas, do you remember a time when you started something new in English, maybe your first conversation or presentation, and how that felt?
Oh yes, I remember. The first time I tried to order food in English, I was so nervous. I thought the waiter wouldn't understand me. My hands were shaking. But I asked for what I wanted, and the waiter understood. It wasn't perfect English, but it worked. That gave me confidence. That small success made me think, okay, I can actually do this.
I love that story. Sometimes we think we need to be perfect before we start, but actually it's the other way around. You start, even if it's not perfect, and then you improve.
Yeah, exactly. If I had waited until I felt perfect, I would still be waiting now.
That's such an important lesson. And it's the same with this podcast. I could have waited for the perfect moment, but I realized I just need to begin. So Lukas, what do you think is the most important mindset for learners who are just starting their English journey?
I'd say consistency. Even 10 minutes a day is powerful. Many people think they need hours, and when they can't, they stop. But small steps every day are better than one big step once a week.
Yes.
Yes.
That's something I always tell my students too. Consistency beats intensity.
Yeah.
And what about mistakes, Lukas? A lot of learners feel embarrassed when they make mistakes.
Oh, mistakes are part of the process. I've made so many. Once I said, I'm boring instead of I'm bored, and people laughed.
But you know what? I never forgot the difference after that. Mistakes teach you.
I love that. And to everyone listening, remember, mistakes are not your enemy. They're your teacher. Okay, Lukas, let's take a break from the serious stuff and play a quick fire round. I'll ask you 5 questions and you answer fast. Ready?
Ready.
Great. First question, what's your favorite English word?
Serendipity. I love the way it sounds, and I love the meaning, finding something good by chance.
Nice choice. Okay, hardest word for you to pronounce.
Rural. Every time I say it, it feels like my tongue is doing gymnastics.
Yes. That one is tough. British English or American English?
I'd say American English because most of the shows I watch are American. But British English sounds classy.
Good answer. Okay, favorite English movie or series?
Friends. I learned so many everyday expressions from that show. Like, how you doing?
Classic Joey line. And finally, one English idiom you like?
I really like break the ice. It's simple, but so useful when you meet new people.
Great answers. And listeners, did you notice you just learned a word, a tricky pronunciation, a cultural choice, a series recommendation, and an idiom, all in 5 quick questions. Lukas, before we wrap up, what advice would you give to someone listening right now who feels stuck in their English learning?
I'd say this: don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start speaking, start listening, start writing. Mistakes don't matter, progress does. And if you do a little every day, you'll be surprised at how far you've come after a few months.
Beautifully said. I couldn't agree more. Thank you. Lukas, thank you so much for joining me on this very first episode of the Talky Podcast. It was inspiring and fun, and I think our listeners learned a lot. And to all of you listening, thank you for being here at the beginning of this new journey. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow the Talky Podcast, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments what topics you'd like us to talk about in the future. This is Jane, and you've been listening to the very first episode of the Talky Podcast. I'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching Talky today. Learning English the fun, easy way.